Unprepared isn't scripted or edited. There are no redos, and when we screw up, it's going live. This works for our show, but it is no way to run your e-commerce business. Our partner Rewind is here to help. They will help you back up your Shopify store with automated backups of your most important data. Rewind should be the first app you install on your store to protect it from human error, misbehaving apps, or collaborators gone bad. It's like having your very own magic undo button. It's trusted by over 70,000 retailers, from side hustles to the biggest online stores like Gymshark, Gatorade, and Movement Watches. Best of all, if you reply to any of their welcome series and mention Unprepared, you can get your first month free. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Unprepared. I'm your host, Chase Clymer, and today, welcoming to the show, one of my great friends and number one email wizard in the interwebs, Val Geisler. How are you doing today?
I'm good, but I think that females are called witches, not wizards, right? Isn't that the Harry Potter lingo?
You know what? I have a Harry Potter tattoo, and I should have got that right.
Is that right, though? We're witches?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, it's 2021. You can be whatever you want. So
that's true.
So today, if you guessed we were going to talk about email, you are right. We took a few minutes before to kind of come up with what we wanted to talk about today. And so we just had, a groundbreaking holiday season in the e-com space. And all of these brands, probably yours included that you're listening right now, grew your customer base by some crazy growth ratio that you've never seen before. And you're emailing them, right? So we're going to talk about email automations, kind of what people think are the standards, and kind of what Val and her team help people do to go that extra mile. So I guess with that, like everybody assumes they need email automations. What is that? Like, what is that assumption? Like, what are people like just defaulting to as like the emails they need to set up?
Yeah, I think a lot of people see email automation as like just transactional. So my automation is, here are the emails related to your purchase and the delivery. And perhaps there's a short like post-purchase. Typically it's, hey, you just made your purchase. What I get a lot is a request for a review a request for a referral. Like here's your, you give 20, save 20, whatever. Before I have even had the product arrive at my house. So that's fun because I don't really know why I would talk to people about something I haven't even tried yet, really. Just because I spent money on it doesn't mean I'm ready to tell people that they should too. So that's usually the extent of a post-purchase sequence is a referral thing, and then maybe a like, hey, your product arrived and can you review it for us? So it's very brand focused. Like, go refer people for us. Consumers are smart. They know that that's not really about them. Like, we're giving them money and it's such a gift and whatever, but they know it's not really about them. It's about us as brand. And then again, very brand focused, go write a review because we need your reviews. That's usually the extent of post-purchase.
So, all right, what should I be doing instead? I mean, I know personally that setting up a pre-delivery email is pretty easy. Mm-hmm. Setting up a post-delivery email is a little bit more difficult depending on what your fulfillment software is, and how that's tracked. But it is possible.
It is possible.
Yeah. So, what would you say would be like best practice? Is the worst term ever, but what would you say would be best practice that people should be considering after they probably wish that they had this in place from the holidays, but it's better late than never. What should they be setting up to make their post-purchase experience with email better?
Yeah, there's no one like best practice. Joanna Weeb says better practices, and I like that because it's like it's better than what a lot of people are doing. It's not, no one can actually say theirs is the best. So better practices are thinking in that customer life cycle. So a lot of brands have subscriptions attached to them. And if you don't have a subscription, I would encourage you to think about how you could. I have a client who sells t-shirts mostly, and they have a t-shirt subscription that they launched last year. So there are people getting a t-shirt every single month. There are people who get multiple pairs of socks every single month from Bombas. Like, we can put a subscription on pretty much anything.
Yeah. And not
so
only
you
that,
probably have a
it goes back to that old 80-20 rule, and like you only need like 100 fans or 1,000 fans, and your business is gonna be night and day difference. And that's
right.
when you have when you have a product like that you don't really see as a traditional subscription. There are some people out there that probably want more than it, more than they have, and they're more than willing to.
Absolutely. Yeah. And subscriptions, they do a lot for you. Like, the reason I came to e-commerce from SaaS is because I saw everything that SaaS was doing that e-commerce brands could do. And SaaS is like fully subscription. If you have any kind of subscription in your business, or you're thinking about a subscription, go look at what SaaS products are doing. You use SaaS products for your business. You use Klaviyo and Shopify and all these different SaaS products. So go look at the emails you got from them when you first started using the brand and see how you can apply some of those things. But there's
so many touch points, so much education, so much like truly, like, if you have any questions, like, we want to explain how this works because we don't want to lose you as a customer. And to that point, I don't see that much with e-commerce brands, really. It's like
like the idea of a knowledge base, or like a kind of help center on an e-commerce brand is so novel. But imagine how useful that would be to point people towards SaaS has getting started guides. If e-commerce had some kind of like, here's our best sellers, or here's how, once you receive our product, here's how you use it. Brooklinen does this really well. They talk about how to wash their sheets, like how to prepare the sheets as soon as they arrive, so that you can have them on your bed that night.
Unbound Moreno does a fantastic job of this. I'm actually going to have Dan on here in a couple weeks, and I don't remember what we're talking about. But they are a masterclass in best practices, or better practices. That's a great brand to follow. Okay, so what if you were going to help my brand? We sell these amazing widgets, and what would be the sequences you'd want us to be looking at, thinking about crafting post-purchase?
Okay, so post-purchase is not just one thing. It's different periods of time. Like I said, think about that customer journey.
Okay.
So from the moment I spend my money on the internet, and then so now there's this period of time before the product arrives. And that could be longer, especially right now. So that is one sequence. This post-purchase until the product arrives. That's one flow. Then from delivery, post-delivery, then you can, so that post-purchase to product arrival is education. You should be talking about those, how to wash the sheets, how to care for your wool, those things. If you don't have like care information, then maybe it's education around how the product was built, who the team is, those kinds of things. Keep them engaged with your brand.
I've seen fashion brands do this really well by highlighting the designer or the fabric or the manufacturing process.
Yes. Everlane has this thing about making the jeans that use the least water of all jean processing. Denim takes a lot of water to process, so they educate around what their goals are there. So there's lots of ways you can do that. Then once the product arrives, then you have this flow that is around asking for a review after a couple of days. Give them some time to use it, and then also inviting them to share it with friends and family. So that's that referral affiliate program that you have. So that's the second post-purchase. Then the third, after you've done that, so you've now asked for those reviews and those referrals, now we want to get them to the second purchase. So that's a whole other flow. Is, okay, you have the product. How are you going to make another purchase? Is it a complementary product? Is it the same kind of product? That's going to vary depending on, how many SKUs you have. But this is a invite to make a second purchase.
So kind of like a cross-sell campaign.
Yeah, cross-selling. It could be that they are refilling in which case you most likely have a subscription. So then the fourth flow is from second purchase to subscription. Now, you can talk about your subscription after the first purchase. Why not? But I don't want it to be the focus.
Yeah.
They're
mention it.
Yeah, they like just tried your product. They're not ready to commit to every single month delivery.
I mean, if you're just thinking about old school marketing, it's like you got to talk about it 7 times before they're like, "Hey, yeah, maybe. All right, let's do this."
Yeah.
So you got to kind of like, you got to chum the water, get them familiar with it.
Right. They probably saw it on your checkout screen when they made their original first purchase. So they might be...
Side note here, if you have a product that is a subscription and you don't have a built-in upsell in your funnel on your website, go do that too.
Go do that. Yeah.
Because there are going to be people that are like, oh, like, I'm sick of buying this thing every X, like, you know, yeah, let's just do subscription, outside, out of mind. Let's do this.
Yeah, or the people who want the discount, so they sign up for the subscription and then they get the product and their plan was to cancel the subscription because they just wanted that discount, but then they get the product and they love it, so they stay.
You know what? Has anyone ever done like a, hey, we know you probably want to cancel this, like as like kind of a email? That's a cool campaign idea. See how it works.
That would be really fun.
That'd be a good test.
Listen, a lot of people sign up for our subscription.
You have time to cancel now, or ignore this email if you liked it. You know what I mean? If you liked it, leave a review.
Yeah, ARPU is a really good tool for subscriptions, and they have this great way from the customer standpoint. I've used it as a customer. They send a reminder, hey, in 5 days, your subscription's going to ship out and you can go make any changes you want to right now. My deodorant that I order is from, they use ARPU, and they'll say things like, you know, are you going on vacation? Do you have an overstock right now? Do you just need, you know, are you using a couple of different brands and don't need as much of ours? So they offer all the outs, right?
Yeah. But I think being honest and being customer focused like that actually helps retain customers.
Yes. And it's super simple for me as a customer. I don't have to like log into a dashboard or jump through any hoops to make changes. I literally click from the email and I go into this portal that they have it all arranged for me. I can change my subscription. I can add things. I can delete things. It's simple.
All right. That's amazing. All right. So let's hop back to so we've got post-purchase, post-delivery, kind of more of a cross-sell, and then kind of like this asking for the second sale, maybe again going towards subscription. What else?
Second to subscription. And then if they still haven't signed up for subscription, if they're making multiple purchases, so if they make a third purchase without signing up for subscription, that's where you really start talking about the value of subscription. Hey, you've bought 3 times in the last month, and if you had signed up for subscription, you would have saved X amount of dollars doing that.
I always want to save X amount of dollars.
Yeah, I love X dollars. They're my favorite. So yeah, multiple purchases to subscription. If they're making multiple purchases of the same thing and you offer a subscription, there is unless they are like the most commitment phobic person on the planet, there's like no reason they shouldn't be on the subscription. And it's probably because they don't know enough about it from you. And then, so that's number 5. Number 6 is win back campaigns for your kind of dormant previous customers. So those people who bought once or twice, maybe they made multiple purchases and then they are gone. So they haven't purchased from you in 6 months. This could be a supply thing. It could be that they like, oh, I only use it every week and now I have this backstock. So you want to figure that out, and you're going to figure that out through talking to customers. But you also want to figure out, maybe they just forgot or started using a different brand or picked whatever shelf brand up at Target instead of ordering from our website. You know, get ahead of that by sending a win back campaign, inviting them to come back, introducing new product lineups that you've added since they last were around. Again, this is something SaaS does that's really cool. So a SaaS will launch new features and then send an email out to previous customers who have left the product and say, hey, we launched all these new features. Are you interested in coming back? And that's something I would love to see more e-commerce brands do.
Yeah, that's amazing. So if I am an e-commerce brand or even a SaaS brand, really, and I'm listening to this and I'm like, wow, Val really knows what she's talking about. How do they get a hold of you?
Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot at Love Val Geisler.
She is. We'll make sure to put that in the show notes so you can click out there and tweet at her and say, help.
Yes, please come find me. I love to chat with people on Twitter, so come find me.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, Chase.